Alright, finally have a mic that actually works. Okay, you might need a microphone to hear it though. The sound quality and the sound is so low that it's hard to, but it's better than nothing, uh-huh. Alright, so this is my second YouTube video. My first YouTube video was just small talk. That's why there's no sound, by the way, because it's small talk. Everything is communicated in the smile and the body language and all that stuff. Okay. This is an actual introduction and explanation of what this channel is going to be like, and if you will enjoy it. I don't think there are. I think this is going to be a very unique channel. So if you find another one similar, let me know. Okay. So my channel is going to mostly focus on semantics and not so much trying to find out the definitions of words, but more to find what those words represents. I think the words are arbitrary. If they do their job, they either do a good job or they don't do a good job. And it depends on how you're using them. Are you using them in the public, or are you using them with somebody who studied or whatever? Words are very important to me. One of the I like to use a analogy between the physical world and the non-physical world. So first of all, there will be people out there that don't believe in the non-physical world. And my advice, go to your dictionary and just cross out all those stupid words like courage and fear and love and all that stuff. Yeah, you don't need any of that stuff. That doesn't have any atoms or any material to it. Okay, now we get rid of those people. All right, now all of you believe that there is a non-material world. There is things, objects that do exist, and we can't use the physical model to explain how they work. Human history has focused so extensively on the physical world, and every little detail about what can be done in it. Words that were based off of how the physical world works. Extensive. When we compare that to the non-physical world, sure, we have a lot of stuff, but I don't think we really get it in terms of, you don't know this, but we're masters. We're absolute masters in the physical world compared to what we are in the non-physical world. Making the comparison. So I like to use all the words from the physical and bring them over to the non-physical, because make it fair and make comparisons, and if they're inaccurate, let's talk about it. Let's see. because this is going to be mostly a channel about questions. And questions only begot more questions and more questions. But usually what it is, it's going to be starting with identifying a non-material object. And courage could have been one of them too. But we start with an object, and then we break it down into its parts, how it relates to other things, and create a vocabulary based on our observation. Sounds complicated. No, I think the main thing is, actually, I kind of don't even care about, as long as you have the goal and the end, you know what you want to achieve through the discussion, and you make it clear to other people so we're all on the same page, I'm pretty much happy with anything. Just so you know where you're going with it and what you're wanting to accomplish. So yeah, in that respect. Another word I like to use is anti, because the things that really matter in our life exist on continuums. You know, yeah, we can we can say we can prevent a child from sticking their hand in hot water by saying it's hot. We don't have to say boiling, and we don't need that level of specificity. But you can imagine lots of situations where you really do need an exact temperature of what is that water, the water's temperature. And that is what I would hope to achieve. I would hope that our discussions can go from the super vague to the super specific. And that being based on how specific do you need to be to get done what you're doing. If you can do it super vague, if you can just do it that easy, why go through all the trouble to try to be specific? So that's one thing. We're going to have a level of specificity that we talk about things, and we're going to you go super high or super low based on what we're trying to do. So that's why I say know what you're trying to do. Okay, I can get into I have a lot of those words. I can kind of get into them later because they kind of fit into certain themes or something, and right now it'd be kind of like putting a whole lot of unrelated related information together. I don't really okay. I don't want it very much. I don't want any personal information here on this channel. If if we, it's okay if you're communicating with me in an email or something, but no, when you're in front of the public, I I think that, yeah, we should kind of let ourselves go, let ourselves be free, not have any inhibitions, but I just don't like it. I don't like personal information in public. I don't like it. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Okay. Now, another thing that deals with language, I think the English language is very sloppy and not well designed. Uh, as you know, the spelling of our English language is correct. Did you know that? Not now. It was correct in the 13th century, but yeah, that it is exactly phonetic, but 13th century English, yeah. Okay, now one of the okay, let me give you an example. Hopefully, when something is repeated over and over and over and over, it should get to the point where it's a default. Okay, so I really don't want this whole channel to be about, in my humble opinion, in my humble experience, in my humble opinion, in my humble experience, and say it how many billion times. But because almost everything almost anything you say is going to be in my humble opinion, in my humble experience, in my humble opinion, in my humble experience. And of course, get that body language all fixed up so that it aligns and corresponds with the nice humble. Okay, so yeah, I think that should be default. I think we should all understand that. I think I think it's just I just don't like uh, that's there's very few things that we do know anything about when we're talking about the kind of discussions that's going to be on this video. So please don't. If somebody misinterprets misinterprets something, somebody for a know-it-all, you just refer them back to this introductory page and say, hey, the default, by default, we say, in my humble opinion, in my humble experience. Okay, so um, I I don't know if you really. I like to really. So I like to know where things are going. When we all know where things are where what we're trying to achieve in a discussion, and we're all on the same page, we know what we want as an end result. Um, we can have some incredible experiences. Incredible. That's why I spend so much time in semantics, because most I mean most I'm not going to say yeah, but just we have incredible problems just because of words, and we could be meaning the same thing, but you're using the wrong word, and I don't like the word. Um, so yeah, that is that's one thing I really like. Now, I'm also about moderation. Warm. I like warm. I don't like hot. I don't like cold in terms of uh, I want to be able to go hot. I want to be able to go cold, but I want the whole thing to come together and be in the middle and warm, not extreme. Extremes usually don't work for very much. They usually they usually don't work. Um, so I also don't want this to become a super intellectual channel. Um, I want it to go the other directions too. Hey, yeah, we do. We have five senses. Hey, we can actually experience the world. Oh my God. Oh my God, we can see this stuff around us. Um, we have emotions. So yeah, I want this to just go all over the board. And I also want the people that respond to the discussions to be able to, uh, try to assess where we are on the board so you can go there too. Because if you have one super intellectual with another person who is super emotional, you got no communication. Um, I think that you should be super intellectual when you need to be super intellectual, when there's a reason to be super intellectual, and then drop it, okay? And you should be super anti-intellectual when you need to be super anti-intellectual. Um, Sometimes you're in a situation where you're pushed too far into one area, and so, yeah, that makes a lot of extremists. Uh, okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about religion because I think it's so personal to us, and I don't answer questions like, "Are you an atheist?" or "Are you a Christian?" or I don't really answer questions like that because I want to get on the same page with you. Okay, when you say God, give me a clear definition so that I understand where you're coming from. Maybe I do. If your definition of God um, is, I may agree. And case in point, during the 60s, particularly the beginning of 1967 in Haight-Ashbury, the word God was using all over the place. Jesus, God, Buddha, but it was all one. It was just there was no, they didn't see any lines between any of them. They were all words to try to pin down this damn essence. It's moving all over the place. But it's fantastic. So in that context, oh my God, I love Jesus. Oh my God, yeah, I'm turned on by the world. Okay, yeah. Um, so a good definition, and that kind of definition wouldn't get very intellectual. That kind of definition would have to build some new words and work on its specificity so we can try to see if we can connect it together. So yeah, I don't answer any of those questions. I don't. I think like a church is kind of a microcosm where you create an artificial truth in a building. You surround yourself by everyone that believes the same thing as you do, and consequently, you feel pretty secure living the life based on what you believe because you have so many people around you that believe the same thing. Um, that's more of a that's not really a physical. Those aren't really physical laws. Those are more laws that, for a general term, politics. Politics. When I use the word politics, I usually say it in a very general. Um, Politics means that you're there is a consideration or side goals of what you're trying to achieve with people around you. It has nothing to do with the actual task at hand. It has to do with uh, creating something between people at the cost, at the cost significantly to the task. Again, I don't say politics is bad. Um, I think you make it kind of complicated when you want to put those two together. And I would like to know why. Why? Give me, is that the best way to do it? But no, politics is very necessary. It's here. It's just we want to understand how we want to develop relationships with people. And so at least have a clear picture in your mind. What kind of relationship do you want with this person? Um, so that so you at least you know where you're going, and then you can take some steps to achieve it if you're really serious about achieving it. Okay, I think that's where I'm going to stop. This is part one. Ask me questions, whatever, and bye bye.